This evening I'm at my hotel in Cagliari, Italy, the Miramar Cagliari Hotel Museo. And wow, what a quirky and lovely room it really is. And wow, what a long mouthful of a name. The bed was certainly wide and very comfortable, and lots of unusual things on the walls like these light decorations, large mural on the wall up there, air conditioning unit, and an array of different plugs available. There is also this unusual speaker system, which despite attempts, I totally failed to be able to use. It does however have a British telephone box to remind me of home. I'm not sure who that man is in the mirror. Tea and coffee making facilities are provided, complete with a Twinings kettle. And there is a neon lit blue shower with no curtain to the bedroom, so it's just as well I'm staying on my own. Otherwise someone may be in for a shock. Please stay however to join for my adventures in Sardinia. And with that, welcome to Carl's Travel Channel, where every journey costs less than £200. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And always remember, the nearest exit may be behind you. Outside is the subject of the last episode in my big Europe adventure, the MN Corfu. Welcome to episode 6. Hi, so after a long day travelling, I've made it to my hotel in Cagliari, the Hotel Cagliari Miramar Museo. Or something like that. I think those words are around the wrong way. The Museo Cagliari Hotel. Anyway, this room is absolutely amazing. There are balcony doors with a stunning view right over Cagliari Harbour and Ferry port. I think this is possibly one of the most palatial rooms I've stayed in, and the bathroom behind me is in some kind of box. And here it is, with a shower visible from the outside of the room. Now let's go inside and you can see it's a real cavern, even with a chandelier up on the ceiling. Not only do you get a toilet, you also get a bidet. A very unusual shaped sink with some free toiletries provided. And this side is the actual access to the shower, with its rather cool flashing neon lights. I'll look forward to using this in the morning. A large double wardrobe and mirror is also provided, to see how good you look. And just a quick interruption from my tour of the hotel, there I just spot, heading out in the distance, my home from last night, the MN Corfu, Grimaldi's ship, heading back to Civitavecchia, the port of Rome. If you've not seen the video for that yet, please head onto my channel and go and watch it. And please remember to like and subscribe, it really does make a difference. Tonight I'll head out to find a pizza and a drink, and then tomorrow we'll see what adventures await. Heading out of the hotel, here is a look at the communal lounge area, also very quirky like the rest of the place. They do like their chandeliers here. I was fairly lazy tonight, so settled for this beer and pizza in the restaurant right adjacent downstairs next to the hotel. Here you can see the menu with its good value pricing. I went for this delicious cheese and anchovy combo, which was really nice. Not a long trip out tonight, and back in my hotel room already. Time to lay on the bed and enjoy the nice surroundings of this room, and wow, look at that ceiling. With that, good night from Cagliari, Sardinia. Good morning from the Cagliari Museo, Hotel, Miramar, or something like that anyway. However, there are tea and coffee making facilities here in the room, which, you never believe it, you have to pay for. A mini bar is provided, of course, at a price, but there we are, you can see inside what you get. And for those who are curious, there is the price list. To be honest, compared to back in the UK, it's not really that bad value. The breakfast, however, is provided here free of charge in the restaurant downstairs. Various meats and cheeses were provided, which were very good actually, though I must admit I'm not a huge fan of continental breakfasts, as they're never substantial enough for me. Just as I return to my room to pick up my bag, I'm greeted with the sight of the Europa Palace berthing into the port. She will be my next hotel for tonight. You can see the black smoke pouring from her funnel as she steams her way in. is one of Grimaldi's largest super ferries, and I'm certainly excited and looking forward to taking my first voyage on her later on. So please keep with me and you'll see that in the second half. Okay, all checked out of the hotel and headed down the stairs, past the reception desk there. Gosh, it's a very long way down and a very unusual sculpture on the way. The door comes out right here onto the main shopping street on the seafront, or marina since it counts as both. Across the other side of the hard to navigate road, here we are at the marina itself. Interesting seating along here, located under canopies. I wonder if that's for the rain or for the sun, I'm not sure. This was the furthest point I was able to easily walk around to in the harbour, and there she is, the Europa Palace, in the distance. The other side, further around, was fenced off because it contains a very small naval base and coast guard facility. Once I'm done here, this morning's task is to find a bus to Poetto Beach, where, on the pictures online, it looks very beautiful. There's old Nellie, which sounds like the name of somebody's auntie. And more interestingly, according to the stern, she's come all the way from Newport, Rhode Island, in the US of A. It certainly is a smart and quiet marina, and at no point around here did I feel unsafe. A very, very nice city. An amazing preserved anchor here. I wonder which vessel this is from. If you know, please let me know. Well, I only just made it on board from the road directly opposite the marina, but that was certainly not an easy process. It turned out the only way to buy a ticket was to go on the CTM Bus Finder app on your phone, download the app, and then buy the ticket on there, and you also had to scan a QR code on the window of the bus to prove you were on the bus. It's all rather drawn out and annoying. However, the reward for the hassle of the bus tickets is to make it here to the beautiful and stunning Poetto Beach. It really was worth a visit. There are also a whole array of stunning beach bars along here. So I ordered a cafe latte and a Coke to keep me going in the warm temperatures. There's lots of signs here about looking after the environment, which, given how beautiful it is definitely worth it. Look at that palm. Many toilets and facilities are located along the beach, and even when a dark cloud comes over like now, it still looks beautiful. Let's go for a stroll along the main road in Poetto and see what we can find up here. It's where all of the hotels are located. I was very tempted to book a hotel and stay on the beach, however I decided it was a bit too pricey for me, but the number one recommended here on Expedia and TripAdvisor is here at the Nautilus. Well, it's something to try out next time. Some more upmarket restaurants are located here on this pier structure, including, if you need a plan B, there is a pizzeria. let's take a journey out on the boardwalk, down by the sea, on a blanket, with my... Actually, that's enough song lyrics for now. Do you know the song? Let me know in the comments below. Passing back here past the beach bars and cafe. Given it's holiday, I feel like I have to have a beer on the beach, so it's one final pint of Ishnusa before leaving Sardinia. And so, cheers! It certainly feels hot here for this time of year. A selection of bars are available, including Oasis and here at Malibu. I pass through the upmarket swimming pool of the Nautilus Hotel as I head to find the bus stop. Sadly, all good things come to an end, and it's time to take the bus back into Cagliari. As you can see, very basic inside, with flat seats. At least this time I knew how to buy a ticket. Some kind of huge stadium appears to be over there in the distance. I wonder what they play there. In the centre of the city, it's time to stop for this quick snack, a mozzarella sandwich, and be careful of that large wooden cocktail stick in it. I nearly bit through it. I stopped at a quick souvenir booth now to buy a fridge magnet for my friend, and then it's a quick walk from here down to the ferry port. Can you spot her hiding there to the left through the bushes? On the way to the ferry port, a quick detour here because this is Cagliari's main railway and train station. I'll take you inside quickly for a look. Here you can see the infamous validators that caught me out back in Pisa, and a look at the platforms. It's from here that you would catch a train to Cagliari's main international airport, should you be flying instead. No flying for me today though. I head back along the nice boardwalk that I came down yesterday, and I now go through security and get ready for the ship, and I'll see you on the other side. There was about a 25-minute wait on some cold, concrete, hard seats, but anyhow, I'm now on the transfer bus for the ferry. Once security got going, it was quick and easy. As we head to the ferry, you get a lovely view here of Cagliari Old Town. It would look nicer in the sunshine, of course, like it was yesterday when I was on the Corfu. The excitement builds as I approach towards the vessel. And there she is in all her glory, the super ferry, the Europa Palace. Interesting array of different companies, lorries and trailers. It's a quick and easy, no-step access onto the vessel, up the usual Mediterranean ferry-style escalator. Sadly, you are not permitted to film whilst walking around in the port, so I had to miss that part. It certainly looks very shiny in here. time now to navigate the maze of corridors and see if I can find my cabin. Now, given the number of cabins on board, I don't think this is going to be super easy. Where do I go? Maybe the deck plans here for Pont 8 will help me. Gosh, this ferry really is massive, and it's a very long way to the cabin. I love that classic humming sound you could hear, however, in the background everywhere, of being on board a vessel. At least here's some more signs. Okay, let's try another corridor. I feel as if I'm going round in circles. Oh no, this is the wrong way. I think time to head down here. Finally, here we are. Hi, well I've made it aboard Grimaldi's Europa Palace, and wow, this is an absolutely stunning cabin. It's all modern, fresh, clean, nice good temperature. Nothing like any of the reviews say online at all, so yes, really quite a shock. Now on that note, let's have a look around the room. A nice desk to work with an excellent selection of plugs provided. Two of my favourite things in the cabin, which were nice touches, were the magazine, like an in-flight magazine, and the Grimaldi branded towels and bedding as seen here. Plump, comfy pillows and all the lights controls between the beds. The bathroom is also very nice and modern, plenty of racks for your towels, and yes, it even has a toilet. So you can see the bathroom is very well equipped with the usual toilet and wash basin, and then it's also got some paper cups up here and a few toiletries even as well. And of course there's the shower with a nice manoeuvrable shower head, not one of those horrid rain shower things, and space to put your soap or your shower gel. And I thought that this was really good, pointing out that everything you throw in the toilet will end up in the sea, with sometimes how long it takes to break down. I've never seen this on another ferry company. And the finishing touch, of course, has to be the Grimaldi branded towels. And a scanning QR code here for the Wi-Fi on board, which I'll outline the prices shortly. Rules of conduct for the best coexistence, apparently.
Motivi di sicurezza, le porte di garage rimarranno chiuse fino all'arrivo in porto. Vi invitiamo pertanto a prendere ai propri veicoli tutto il necessario per il viaggio. Your attention please, we inform all passengers that for safety reasons, the doors of the garage will be kept closed until arrival on port. We invite to take from the vehicles everything you need. If forbidden, throw in the toilets wet strips or other objects that can prevent the normal operation of the same. No compliance of rules could have serious consequences. Thank you for your kind cooperation.
Well, there you go. They certainly love their announcements. Well, after the little rest, it's time to head out and explore up on deck. A very large selection of trailers down there. Ideal for trailer spotters, I suppose. If there is such a thing, I don't know. The view to her stern, and of course the obligatory shot of the ship's lifebelt. Welcome aboard the Europa Palace, registered in Palermo. She was launched in the year 2000 and has space for 1,608 passengers, 712 cars, and was previously known as the Superfast 6, the Bimini Superfast, and the Cruise Olbia. And as we explore the ship, we will spot some of those signs of our past, especially involving her life in the Bahamas, as more of a cruise vessel between 2013 and 2016. Arriving up here, wow, this is really cavernous. A look out to the west side of the port, where there is not really much to be seen, to be honest. There's certainly a lot of chairs and tables provided here. It's like she's all dressed up with no place to go. And just as if they're not enough, there's even more bundled up over there in the corner. As you can see, the main decks on this vessel are absolutely huge, and they go on and on and on. A bit like me, really. A sign on the wall there for the old nightclub, 360, and here we approach the main swimming pool area. Which sadly looks as though it's seen better days and is all shuttered up. I can only imagine how this would have been on a warm evening in the lively tropical Bahamas, full of cocktails and people having fun. It looks like, however, they do still sell ice creams up here, maybe in the summer. One could hope, anyway. On-deck toilets are provided, which, to be honest, is quite rare on a ferry. This glass windbreak is quite cool and a nice feature. Finally, after what felt like a very long walk, I reached the bow of the ship. Her name sign brilliantly illuminated in the evening light. I'm not sure what this wooden trough thing is. I find over here the ship's plate, built by Havelswerke Deutsche Werft. I think that's correct, HDW, yard number 356. Another closer look at the Club 360 sign, harking back to her past. If you search online for photos of the Bimini Superfast, you can find some lovely pictures of the grandeur of her days in the Bahamas. It's very sad, however, it's not like that now. An on-deck play area is provided for the young or the young at heart. And the other toilet. It's starting to get a little chilly out here now, so let's head back inside. From here at Deck 9, a quick look at our deck plans. Now, let's head downstairs and see if we can explore some of the facilities on board. Oh dear, that glass looks like it's taken a bit of a hit. I wonder what the umbrella or shower sign means up there. I arrive on Deck 8 through the a la carte restaurant and seating dining area. It looks rather pleasant. Just along through here is the bar, so let's stop for a schnusser, of course, and a pan au chocolat. Unlike the rest of the ship, it is at least a little more lively in here. After spotting the shudder of the ship, we are now underway. Departure time 1900 from Cagliari. Her lights now dwindling in the distance. This is the outside area on the lower deck 7, which is more sheltered and where the lifeboats are located. Time now for a quick refresher in my cabin before dinner.
Signora Muscas Michela è gentilmente attesa in reception al ponte numero 7, grazie.
They certainly really do love their announcements. I arrive here at the restaurant self-service. Right, now let's see what goodies we can find, or the lack of them. You're in for a treat. Starting here with a selection of drinks, salads and starters. We will start with a Coca-Cola, I think. Moving on here to the hot main course food options. Finally, one thing I nearly always forget, don't forget the cutlery, because you cannot come back to get it afterwards. I selected this pasta thing, which I'm not entirely sure what it was, but it tasted prefabricated. Total price was €14.20 for the Coca-Cola and the small dish. Really poor value for money. The ship is now beginning to rock and rattle and sway quite a bit, and it's making me feel a little ill, so keeping myself contained, I hope for the best. Phew, fortunately it's died down and stopped, and my stomach is okay. So, just finished in the dining area, and they still have these pictures or paintings on the wall from the Bahamas. Just behind here is this gigantic, empty lounge area. It looks exactly like the Mary Celeste. I'm sure this was thriving with activity back in the days of the Bimini Superfast. The atrium, however, here is really quite beautiful with this staircase, and I can hear and see some more life, so let's go and investigate what's going on down there. This is adjacent to the welcome lobby reception area, which I must admit is really rather nice. But the former name of the ship is still up on the wall, the Cruise Olbia. Downstairs here I then enjoy a quick drink in the bar and what it seems like television entertainment area, where there are two different screens playing two different things with the sound overlapping, but amazingly there's actually people in here. It's the first I've seen really on the ship. Heading back through the now deserted a la carte restaurant. I wonder what the food is like in there. If you know, let me know in the comments. I relocate myself to this nice and quiet area of the ship for a nightcap. But as a common feature on these Mediterranean ferries, even at this time of night, everything is brilliantly illuminated with bright white fluorescent lights. Not particularly relaxing. Drink finished from here at the lower deck, I'm now going to head up onto the top for my midnight stroll, which you should know by now from my channel, that's what I always love doing. And yes, of course, I've speeded this up at double the speed to get up these stairs a little quicker, because really, I cannot run this fast. And with the tiredness setting in at this late hour of the day, I can already see you slumped to sleep whilst watching this video. One more look at the forlorn, abandoned swimming pool and jacuzzi spa. Let's go and have a little look up here to imagine how it might have looked back in the day. This little raised platform is really rather cool. I wonder what it was used for, maybe a band or something. Taking in that fresh blast of midnight air. Finally reaching her stern, there are some exposed trailers here out on the open deck. Time to retire for the night and head down the maze of corridors again to find my cabin. After a long busy day, I really am now feeling rather tired. Phew, here we are, 8202. The obligatory ship's keycard test. Now, will it work? It worked first time earlier. Let's try again. Phew, second time lucky. It's time to get some sleep, so let's hope these announcements stop.
The sky is cloudy. The The sea is calm. The outside temperature is
Good night from the Europa Palace and the Mediterranean Sea.
The arrival in port of Napoli is around 10 a.m. Thank you.
Well, good morning everyone. I'm up bright-eyed in Bushy Town and that was a really good night's sleep. A few things to say though. The shower was freezing cold and the room was slightly too warm, but it worked well with just taking the duvet off the bed. But overall, yeah, very good.
First thing this morning, I will begin the day with a quick blast of sea air. Just like last night, once again, all the chairs and tables are empty. I think I can spot an island or landfall over there. Another former Bimini sign here for the Aqua Bar and Grill. There's a missing pane of glass here, so it's an opportunity to poke my camera through and have a look at the waves on the sea outside. Once again, there is that island. I'm not sure where it is. One thing I do like about this vessel is you can see the bridge really up close, and there is a name sign during the daylight hours. Righty, let's head downstairs and see if we can find some breakfast, because I'm feeling rather peckish. The cooked breakfast has been located, and wow, well, what can I say? It really was very awful. Sadly, I cannot remember the price, but I think it was around €9, also bad value. The bustling port of Naples approaches as a caramel ferry passes us in the other direction, presumably off to one of the islands like Ischia. The port of Napoli really is a ferry lover's paradise, and for anybody interested in ships, I really would recommend to come here. Over here there is almost like a ferry boneyard of vessels moored up and tied together. The Sardinia ferry here, however, is still active and in service and will depart shortly. This is the large Janus, which sails from Naples to Palermo. The weather, however, here in Naples is not so bright and looking quite foreboding.
People without cars, without vehicle, may now disembark using the exit located near the reception on deck 7. Thank you.
Well, we have been called to disembark. And from here, at deck 7, we should be able to find our way out past the lobby area here. And yes, here is the escalator. Despite the good facilities, given the food and drink on board, I really don't know if I'm happy or sad to be leaving. A final wave goodbye to her, and in the background there is the GNV Antes arriving. Disembarkation in Napoli is really quite strange, and it's all by foot. You literally just walk out of here, through the terminal, and there is no formal procedures. The area, however, around the port here does look a little shabby and run down. I find a little locals cafe with, most importantly, a plug to charge my phone. Just across the road here from the station is the B&B Hotel, the same chain I stayed in Ouistreham. As I reach Naples railway station and the Galleria Garibaldi, let's summarise the all-important trip costings. The ferry was on an unbelievable 50% off deal at €31 for the ticket and amazing €16 for the cabin. The Hotel Museo, the Cagliari, long name I can't remember, was £53. Overall, an excellent value for money trip. That's the cheapest cabin I've ever had. With that, thank you for watching Carl's Travel Channel. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you, of course, on the next one.